जिन नोटों में से स्मेल निकलती थी, एक्चुअली दे आर फूल्स. Our area was the first area in the entire Delhi which was sealed.
Hey guys, welcome to our channel Shades of Shrestha. Here I am today with a very new content which I have never tried. So today I am making my first podcast with my father, who is an excellent banker, a vintage banker, and my role model as well. So first of all, Papa, welcome to my podcast. And how do you feel like coming to on your daughter's channel for the very first time?
Definitely, it feels a pleasure to be a part of first podcast for my daughter. So, first of all, wishing you all the very best.
Thank you. Okay, are you nervous right now, or are you acting cool on camera right now?
There is no place for nervousness. It's simple chit chat.
Okay. So, did you ever imagine that one day your banker life would be like become a podcast content?
I never thought any such kind of thinking that one day I will be a part of one podcast or something like that.
Okay. So, before we start, how would you introduce yourself to the audience in just one word, like in a short? That who are you and what is your profile and everything?
As far as my professional and personal life, I am a pure banker since the starting of my first job, and I am having the banking blood.
Okay.
My father, my real uncles, all were into the banking industry. So right from day one, I am having the banking, pure banker, and I'm having almost 25 years of pure banking experience on a different roles, different segments.
That's amazing.
So it's completely a banking position.
Nice. So let's start from your childhood and personal life. So just say like you were a studious kid or like a night.
I was an average student, not a topper or not a bottom, not a backbencher or not a front bencher.
Okay, so you like me, I always learn at last night सब कुछ पढ़ना है. So were you like that or starting say, oh my god, exams are coming?
I never studied any of the subject from day one.
You were like me. That's nice. Okay, what did you actually dream of becoming when you were my age? Like कुछ personal बचपन से जो था.
I was interested at that point of time. At the just initial days of my career, it was purely on a journalism.
Oh.
Because I have a complete knowledge of journalism, or you can say the current affairs knowledge.
Okay.
Daily from I started my day with the reading of the Times of India newspaper. So it was completely a general knowledge, current affairs, what was happening in the across industries. So it was a complete purely on a journalism basis.
कुछ आइडिया जिससे आपका ऐसा हो कि मुझे जर्नलिज्म बनना है, कुछ ऐसा कोई रोल मॉडल या इंस्पिरेशन का इसमें?
No role model was there, even because in our family no one was in such a field. So, but like every child, you have to become doctor or engineer or into some specific role you are passionate about. So I was passionate about journalism, but things were changing day by day, month by month, on my personal front, on my professional front. So rather than becoming a journalist, I became a banker.
Nice. So one mischievous thing you did in your childhood, which you think that if I did right now or if I do it right now, then you will scold me for sure.
No, I'm happy with my banking now.
No, one mischievous thing you did in your childhood, जिसके लिए आपको दादू से डांट पड़ी हो या फिर like नहीं भी पड़ी हो?
नहीं, दादू से डांट तो बहुत बार पड़ी है on every occasion, but कोई ऐसा नहीं था कि पर्टिकुलर हमने कोई गलत काम किया हो जिससे स्पेसिफिक इस गलती की वजह से हमें डांट पड़ी हो, ऐसा कुछ नहीं था.
Who was stricter? Right now, who is stricter? Your father was stricter, or right now your boss is very strict than your father? Like, who was more?
Both are having different roles. One purely on my personal professionalism, and another one is purely professionalism on a professional front. So we can't compare or we can't mix two different also. Both are parallels.
Okay. So, what struggles did you face in your early career that people don't see today? Like, people will be like, oh, such a 25 years or from such a long time you're in this industry, in this banking field. One thing.
At that point of time, there were no proper guidance and knowledge. As today's now, there is a enough social media concepts. We have a lot of platforms in social media.
Yes.
At our point of time, there was no such social media. So we have to just go by take some guidance from some experienced person or some veteran person of that industry. Even at that point of time, no one was actually eager to guide us
Like, you did everything by your own.
by my own.
Okay, what was your first salary and what did you do with it? And who did you give that treat to?
My first salary was just 4,935,
Oh.
and I don't remember now to whom I have given this the treat or some party or some evening.
सबसे पहले तो दादू को ही दी होगी.
Obviously, that was my role model. Even today, he is my role model. But I don't think कि मैंने अपनी सैलरी से कोई पार्टी करी हो या कुछ चला हो. So it's a long back.
Okay, so let's talk about the journey into banking. कैसे आप आए? So why did you choose banking as a career? Like it was as you told आपका journalism था, तो journalism से सीधा banking कैसे? मतलब ये तो बहुत दूर like कोई relation ही नहीं है.
There was one interesting story. When I passed out my 10th, then I joined my first class in 11th standard when my session was started. So I never dreamt of science. Then I never dreamt of science with maths. So I joined the class with commerce without math. And at that point of time, on the very first day, my teacher guided us और teachers us कि ये आपकी बैलेंस शीट है, इस तरह से अकाउंटिंग है और आपको इस तरह से लेजर बनाने हैं and so and so. So on a first day when I returned back and I was just started doing my homework, I opened my register and I was just pen down the lines and for making this balance sheet and ledger sheet, all this. So I don't know what exactly came to my mind. I just closed my register, and on a very nice day, I sat on the arts humanities section, and so on it continues.
So arts and then banking, like isn't it bad?
It was just coincident.
Nice. Okay.
I very frequently at that point of time after completing my studies, I used to get interviews on many banks, on many companies. Things were going on, and later on I put myself into a banking.
Okay, so पहला दिन कैसा था बैंकिंग का? कैसा नर्वसनेस था? क्या मतलब स्ट्रेस था या फिर कूल थे, थोड़े नॉर्मल थे? मतलब स्ट्रेस.
Obviously, it was completely a new atmosphere for me as far as the professionalism, because no one knew me. I was new to the entire banking system. But later on, days were passed on and I was familiar with the banking.
So you told that your father and your uncles were in this field. So did you get any guidance from them?
A lot of guidance I took from my father, but at that point of time, he was retired. So not the actual step-by-step guidance I didn't got from my father, but on very exceptional basis, on very you can say the milestones of the life. I took much guidance on a different milestones, on a different practical situations of my professional life. I took guidance from him,
Oh,
and it got accurate.
nice. Okay, now funniest thing that has ever happened in your bank and like you अभी भी आप सोचते हो अरे यार कितना मजा आया था, कितना फन था.
वैसे तो बहुत सारे फनी मोमेंट्स रही हैं,
दो तीन हमारे व्यूअर्स को सबको
जैसे
engage करने के लिए.
जैसे बहुत बार क्या होता था हमारी ब्रांच में, when I was a teller, so there was some 4-5 tellers in a single queue, in a single line, front office, and there was one door which was going way on the just on the back side of the. It was hidden. It was not the customer facing area, and we used to get our complete lunch, the entire staff, at that area. It was just there was a behind a wall. In front of the wall, we have a front office counter, and on the reverse of the wall, there was an empty area where we used to do our lunch and sometimes some fun and everything, just for time pass. Whenever we do, so our entire team on a pure uh, customer timings, customer dealing timings, entire team around 7-8 tellers. We were at a similar this same time. We got to have a lunch, and once the customer suddenly came to the counter, everything we left behind and just rushed to all our counter because the CCTV cameras just behind us.
Oh.
And there were lots of other funny moments were there, but it's part of
It's part of-
daily journey.
Yes. And then your most memorable customer, ऐसा कोई memorable customer, कोई बात हो, कोई story हो एक customer की, कोई ऐसी.
There was one emotional story which had happened around some 4-5 years back at the time of COVID. So at the time of COVID, there was completely panic in the entire world. So I was a deputy branch manager at that point of time, and I used to process the cases of deceased claims. So at that point of time, a lady who lost her husband and she has some 2 kids, school going kids were there. So she came for deceased claim settlement, where her husband got demised during that COVID period, and within some good 2 to 3 days, I settled the entire deceased case. And when I handed over the closer settlement draft to her hands, she was completely in tears, and she given me so much of blessings that in such a short period of time, I completely settled all the dues and all the everything related to her husband. So it was actually a emotional moment, actually a part of a customer servicing, and above all the blessings which she gave to me by putting her hands at my head. So it was actually a lifetime memorable thing.
Condolence to the family, because many of even us, some people we have. You in the very starting you said that you have been in this field for 25 years, so you must have seen demonetization at that time. So where were you? Like what in profile were you when demonetization was introduced, announced?
The moment when it was announced, I was traveling with my wife, and on the way to my destination, there was some 5 to 6 ATMs were there, and there were a huge line was there on the road. So earlier I didn't recognize that how what the matter is going on, and all the ATMs are queued up in a long way. But when I reached there at my destination, and there was news were flashing that our PM got announced this news. It was a breaking news altogether. So the demonetization was started, and at that point of time, we knew in our life it was first time that there is some demonetization like concept is there.
Okay, so what was the first reaction as a banker? Like, was it a stress or a excitement that I have to see this for the I'm going to
There
see
is
this?
no such excitement. because it was completely panic kind of a situation, because it's totally depends on what you are having money. It's a pure hardcore cash. So the money which you are having at your pocket, inside your pocket, it is simply a zero value, because no one was ready in the entire market who can exchange that piece of paper and gives you in the any consumer durable or a food or anything in exchange of that note.
So at that period of time, how many hours did you work in the office?
It was more than 12 hours.
When did you sleep?
We got to reach office around 7:30 to 8, and we back in the late evening, sometimes 10 or 11. And this entire session schedule went through till 28th of December, which was the last
So
day.
when did it started?
In the year 2016. It was started on 8th of November. It was announced. 9th was around, you can say, a cooling period, and from 10th onwards,
It was a hectic schedule for you.
it got the hectic schedule, because every day there were new guidelines, new formats. Everything was a.
Complete mess and everything.
We can't say specifically mess in professional language. It was horrific. It was tensed. There's nothing excited about the entire process.
Okay. So what was the most emotional moment you saw in the bank during that demonetization point?
There were a lot of things happened during that demonetization period, but there was one day when at the evening, a senior citizen who was in the queue since morning, and when his queue came, when his number was there at our counter, and he says we received very limited money, the fresh currency, because there was a huge demand. It's a simple demand and supply ratio, where demand was huge but the supply was very short.
Oh.
So when that senior citizen, he was around roughly some in his late 80s, and very poor condition. And when he came to our counter and he showed our documents and all this, and with denomination, old denomination, which to be exchanged with a new one, he says बाबूजी मैं सुबह से लाइन में खड़ा हूँ, बहुत देर बाद अब मेरा सारा दिन बीत गया, अब मेरी लाइन आई है, और मेरे पास घर पे बच्चों को खिलाने के लिए ना रोटी है, ना दूध है, कोई भी चीज़ मेरे पास घर पे नहीं है, छोटे बच्चे हैं, और मुझे बहुत ज़रूरत है पैसों की। और उसके जो वो थे डॉक्यूमेंट जो थे, आईडी प्रूफ भी, उसमें कुछ नेम मिसमैच या कुछ इस तरह से कुछ था। तो हमने आउट ऑफ द वे जाके फिर हमने उसे, जबकि वो क्यू में था, लेकिन तब भी हमने अप्रूवल लेके हमने उसे ब्रांच हेड ने ओटीए करके कि भाई एक कंडीशन ऐसी थी, तो हमने उसे कोऑपरेट करने के हिसाब से हमने उसे जो है आईडी प्रूफ लेके फॉर्म भरवा के सारी कंडीशंस पूरी करके फिर हमने उसे एक्सचेंज किया। तो हमें जाते जाते भी उसने बहुत ब्लेसिंग्स दी। तो इट वाज सच ए इमोशनल, बट वी वर बाउंड एज पर रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन बाय द आरबीआई। तो हमें वो सारे काम, हमें प्रोसेस भी फॉलो करने थे, और हमें एक सिंपैथी भी अपने उस कस्टमर के साथ दिखानी थी, करनी थी। तो वो हमने दोनों चीज़ों को किया। तो दैट वाज एक्चुअली इमोशनल मोमेंट।
उस टाइम पे बहुत ज्यादा वो है, और लाइक बहुत ज्यादा क्यों समझता है, तो
बहुत ज्यादा।
उस टाइम पे लोग लड़ते भी होंगे, तो ऐसा कोई
बहुत ज़्यादा।
कोई लाइक सिचुएशन?
Actually, we have a limited space inside the branch, and there was at the entrance of it there was a iron channel. So we have to shut down that channel once there was the entire crowd got inside the premises of the branch, and once that empty and we have enough space to onboard the new set of customers inside the branch premises. So it's sometimes open, then close, blockage, and there are few persons unprofessional manner. They came, and even when we have the staff, because I have a long job to handle, इवन देर आर कुछ लोग ऐसे भी आते थे इन अनप्रोफेशनल वे में, जो ये कहते थे, जब हम उनको कहते थे कि एक स्टाफ हमारा लंच में गया है, सो दे फाइट विद अस कि लंच में दिया तो हमें क्या मतलब, उसे हमें तो हमारे पैसे से दो, हमें मतलब क्या आप लंच रन करो। सो इस तरह से बहुत ही, जिसे हम कह सकते हैं बदतमीज किस्म के लोग, रूड बिहेवियर वाले, अनप्रोफेशनल वे में, ऐसे भी लोग हमारे पास बहुत आते थे, जिन्हें ये मतलब नहीं है कि हम, वो तो अभी आ रहे हैं, भले वो लाइन में लग रहे हैं कुछ घंटों से, लेकिन हम तो 12 घंटे 14 घंटे ड्यूटी ले रहे हैं और हमारे पास ना लंच करते थे। और एक्चुअली में इतने लोग पुराने पुराने दबे हुए नोट लाते थे, सीरम भरे नोट लाते थे, जिन नोटों में से स्मेल निकलती थी, और हमारे हाथ जो है इतने ज्यादा बदबू वाले हो जाते थे, हमारे हाथों पे इतनी ज्यादा डस्ट लगती थी कि जब तक हम 3-3 4-4 बार हम अच्छे से हम सैनिटाइज ना करें, वॉश ना करें, हम उन्हें हम कुछ खा भी नहीं सकते थे, इतनी ज्यादा स्मेल आती थी हमारे हाथों से।
सो वन थिंग दैट द पब्लिक, ये वही आपने बताया अभी कि पब्लिक कभी नहीं समझ सकती कि उस टाइम पे बैंकर्स क्या चल रहा है, कि
बहुत few people were there who actually understand our conditions.
Exactly. Now the most infamous topic, that COVID. Like उस टाइम पे सबने बात करी, डॉक्टर्स के बारे में, पुलिस के बारे में सबने बात करी, बट वी हम तो फैमिली मेंबर्स एक बैंक करके, तो हमें भी देखना था कि पापा रोज सुबह जाते थे, तो उस टाइम पे कंडीशंस क्या होती थी, उस टाइम पे कैसा आपका रहता था, बिकॉज सबने सबके बारे में बात करी, बट एक टाइम पे आप लोग भी फ्रंट लाइन वॉरियर्स थे, आप लोगों ने भी सबकी हेल्प करी है। सो व्हेन एवरीवन वाज एट होम, यू स्टिल हैड टू गो टू द बैंक, व्हाट वाज गोइंग ऑन योर माइंड, क्या चलता था कि क्या होगा, मैं खुद भी तो मतलब कभी होता था कि यार मैं खुद भी तो इन्फेक्ट हो सकता हूँ, मतलब ऐसा।
एक्चुअली क्या था, जब देयर वर 2 stages, one was COVID-1, another was COVID-2. I was a victim. I became a victim in during COVID-2 because I also suffered with a COVID condition. But as far as COVID-1, it was the first kind of a situation or the atmosphere which we faced first time in our life, like a demonetisation, as we discussed earlier. So जो COVID-1 जो कंडीशन थी, एटमॉस्फेयर, उसमें तो हमें इतना नहीं पता चला, क्योंकि वो हमारे लिए फर्स्ट ऑफ अ काइंड ऑफ अ सिचुएशन थी। तो जो हमें प्रोसेस पता चल गए, वी इम्प्लीमेंटेड एंड सर्विंग द कस्टमर्स, सर्विंग द बैंकर्स, एवरीथिंग इट वाज नॉर्मल, हमारा चलता रहा। सिर्फ एक चीज से हमें फायदा होता था, रोड्स वर एम्प्टी, तो वी वर, इट सेव्ड आवर टाइम while reaching and while coming back to home. But as far as the during COVID second wave, it was horrific because the incidents, the casualties, the panic which happened during the COVID-2 stage, it was actually horrible, dangerous, and you can say कि हर तरीके से हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा डरे हुए थे, क्योंकि हमारे ब्रांच टाइमिंग्स भले ही कट शॉर्ट होते, जस्ट 4-5 घंटे का रहते थे, बट
वायरस तो है, कभी भी हो सकता है।
जो हमारा जो हेल्थ इश्यूज थे वो हमारे सामने आए थे।
And were you scared of bringing that virus to home, back to us?
Obviously, our bank was provided us to wear mask, having sanitizer bottle at each and every counter, then helmet, the transparent helmet with the window screen, like a transparent screen. Then we all have the separate counters, kind of a complete plastic sheets, window screens, where we have we do not have the direct interaction with the front office while customer servicing. So all these were there. The gloves, we have disposable gloves. We need to
wear.
wear.
The photo. I will show them also that what precautionary steps you had taken. So did customers become more patient or more frustrated during this COVID period?
All kinds of customers, all variety of customers we handled.
Okay, so
some were cooperative, some were like usual, business as usual kind of a.
Demonetization जैसे भी थे कुछ लोग जैसे आप बता रहे थे बहुत rude manner में.
हाँ वो हर तरह होते रहे. Actually there were many customers while entering. We have a check-in meter for
Temperature checking.
yes, and we have this sanitizer just at the entrance of the branch, main gate, main entrance. But there are many customers were there who avoid to use sanitizers or this they're checking the fever thermometer machine. So we faced every kind of a customer.
So
Some were
was
cooperative, some were rude, some were non-cooperative, some were just excited at what is going on inside the banks, how we are treating to the customers, how we servicing to the customers. So it was a mix and match.
What was the toughest day in the COVID-19? Like आपने डे 2 में बता जब वेव 2 आई थी तो आपको भी आप भी विक्टिम थे तो उसमें कोई पीरियड या फिर वेव 1 में कोई पीरियड जब आप बहुत ज्यादा आपके लिए डिस्टर्बिंग हो या
डिस्टर्बिंग तो हमारे लिए रोज ही होता था क्योंकि रोज नई कंडीशन आती थी. हमारे लिए भी एक ये था क्योंकि हमारे एरिया में बहुत ज्यादा कोविड का हुआ था. आवर एरिया वाज द फर्स्ट एरिया इन द एंटायर दिल्ली which was sealed officially. So there were no even single shop were open except the essential commodities or essential items. Because the banking was one of the essential hospitals, banks, police stations, and these eatables, shops. These were the essential part, the general stores, departmental stores. So we were one of them. So we got the authorized by the RBI. So we authorized these stickers, which were provided by our organization to us to be pasted on our vehicles. So we got a smooth way on the roads while checking by the police.
And did that phase change your perspective towards life and family?
Of course, we were on a high risk. Daily, when entire market were closed, roads were closed. Everywhere you have barriers, police checking. All these things were there, and we were the only person who were attending the office and sitting on a high risk. So definitely, it was totally. We were servicing and we were sitting on a high risk area.
Okay, it's very serious बातें हो चुकी है. अब थोड़ा इसे relax करते हैं. तो do you feel banking is a 9 to 5 job or a 24/7 responsibility?
Actually, it's 24/7. When you have a limited set of customers and who are important to you, then it's actually a 24/7 because you never know when the customer can call you. Because banking is all about mutual understanding and confidence, building trust among you and your customer. You not as an individual, you because you are representing your organization, your bank.
Yes.
So banking, it's all about trust.
Yes. And one moment where you felt you missed a family event because of office and because of your work?
Especially the PTMs of my daughter.
Okay. Did you ever feel guilty about not giving enough time to us?
Sometimes. Especially when my both the daughters got birth and I didn't have the even enough time to spend with them. So definitely it was some
but honestly, are you proud of how you managed and balanced everything?
Of course.
And now, rapid fire. Yes, so bankers at work or dad at home, which is a stricter and a tougher job for you?
Bankers at home or?
Dad at home. Bankers at office or dad at home?
I think dad at home is a 24/7 service.
Okay. Passbook or mobile banking?
Light.
Mobile banking or passbook? इन दोनों में से कौन सा आपको better लगता है?
Of course, mobile banking.
Okay. Strict manager or a chill manager?
Chill manager. Until unless pressure won't hit on my head.
Okay. Loan approval or loan rejection?
Of course, approval because bank only get business when loan will be approved.
Okay. Counting cash or counting family memories? Which is more important for you?
Of course, family memories.
Who spends more money, you or mom?
Every family member of mine.
Okay. One thing you always wanted to say to your customer but couldn't. आज आप ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म पे बता सकते हो क्या एक चीज जो आप चाहते हो कि कस्टमर समझे, कस्टमर्स को जानना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि मतलब ऐसे कोई इंपॉर्टेंट.
I think customers should also feel that the bankers are also a human being. They have their personal life, and they should also know that even holidays should not be called. Because even there are silly customers or silly calls has been ring on my mobile, like even on day of 15th of August, which is a universal holiday across Indian states. A specific call I have received, sir, आज छुट्टी है क्या? बैंक बंद है क्या? So I think if you stand on my place, what kind of a response you want to give to him?
But you couldn't hear that.
But we
yes,
could
sir,
not
yes.
be saying that manner. So
But at the back of your head, you're like, chutti hai yaar, chutti hai.
yeah,
Okay. Emotional and inspiring ending once again. So, what does success mean to you today?
success means when you are satisfied both on professional and personal front. That means a success to you.
One piece of financial advice for my generation.
Financial advice is right from when in such a scenario, today's scenario, when you have enough platforms of social media, there are enough concepts, enough material is there.
Now, next question. Are you proud of me being a YouTuber or still waiting for a government job form for me?
Whatever you want to do, we are there.
Nice. That's a very motivational line for me. What do you feel seeing your daughter interviewing you today?
Of course, feels good. And of course, it is quite satisfactory that my daughter is now able to do all such things which are interesting and knowledgeable.
And one message for people who think bankers have an easy job. कोई भी कर सकता है ये तो.
Actually, they are fools
Okay, that was a very big punchline.
because whatever you are doing, 200% should be there. Whatever and wherever you are into the field or in a profession, you have to be there. Being the either you are salaried or a self-employed, you have to go give your 200%. But when people used to say कि पैंतर से क्या है यार 9 to 5 जॉब है अपना शाम को घर आ गए सुबह
मस्त
आराम से
पैसे गिनने
गए
हैं।
मस्त पैसे देने हैं बस यही काम है कस्टमर डीलिंग खत्म हो गई सैटरडे संडे ऑफ हो गया उन्हें ये नहीं पता कि in each and every transaction which we made directly or indirectly it's a risk prone area, it's a completely we are sitting on a high risk. So जब लोग ये बोलते हैं कि बैंकर से तो बहुत आसान जॉब है, so actually they are making fools of their own.
Okay. And finally, one message for me at the end.
Whatever you do, because you are into actually you are currently into your studies and entire life is there. So whatever you do with full determination, do with complete confidence, do with complete energy. So when you all and of course above all be faith in yourself and of course God. So when the outcome will be there after mixing of all these materials all together, the result will be win-win. So keep remember these my words. So in the life when you will be at peak of your career, so you think that yes, you feel actually that my father told me this all materials ingredients of your life which actually practically you got it and you reach to that height. All the best.
Thank you so much. So it was like a very good and a very interesting conversation. Finally, we did this podcast, and thank you so much for coming
Thank
to
you.
my channel. And it was a very fun, healthy, beautiful, interesting conversation. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you actually like this video और जो भी आपने इस वीडियो में सीखा है उसे लाइफ में रिमेंबर करना है. ये जो आखिरी चीजें मम्मी पापा ने मुझे बोली है, it's all for you also. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.
There on a social media platforms. So rather than looking or following the unwanted things, you should know or you should get the knowledge about the banking, about your financials, about your futures in small milestones. So after down the line of let's say 5 years or 10 years, you have some solid
You're not
bank
blank,
balance.
like what is happening. You're not blank.
You should not be demanding in front of your parents that for even for this thing I need this much of money. Of course, guidance is important. Monitoring is important of your parents. But yeah, you should also know, or the knowledge you must have. On the other hand, कि जब आपके पास बाकी सारी नॉलेज में है तो बैंकिंग और फाइनेंशियल से नॉलेज भी इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर फ्यूचर.
And one life lesson you learned from banking?
Managing life in a systematic way.